Hi everyone. New draft Digital Personal Data Protection Bill has been released by the Government of India. You may be knowing that we had another bill proposed in the year 2019, which was prepared by B. N. Sreekrishna, and later to study that a joint committee in Parliament was set up with the Parliament on 2019 bill. Then the JCP, or the Joint Committee of Parliament, submitted its reports in 2021, and there were so many recommendations on the JPC report. So based on that, they have withdrawn the 2019 bill, and now they have released the new draft on Digital Personal Data Protection Bill as a draft. So today we will look into the details of this bill. So first we will see the data principle and the data fiduciary, which is the definition given for the user as well as the collector. The bill uses the term data principle to indicate the individual whose data is getting collected. If I am the persons, I am giving my data to any of the medias, then I will be denoted as the data principle. It includes children also. In case of children up to age of 18 years, their parents will be considered as the data principle. Then next will be the data fiduciary. Data fiduciary means the one who is collecting the data. It can be an individual, company, firm, or state, etc. So they will be having a lot of responsibilities, and they will be termed as data fiduciary. Next, we will directly go into the key provisions of this data bill. First one is the Data Protection Board. So this board is mainly to enforce the key provisions of the bill. So all the provisions which is given in the bill will be enforced by or implemented by the Data Protection Board. So they will be responsible for checking the enforcement of these provisions and the implementations. Then next one is the Data Protection Officer and the Independent Data Auditor. So they are mainly for the evaluation of compliance to the provisions. How much they are in compliance with the provisions will be assessed by this Data Protection Officer as well as the Independent Data Auditor. So they are getting appointed based on the volume of the data to process, if it is in large amount or in less amount. Okay, so based on the volume, the Data Protection Officer and the Independent Data Auditor will be appointed. Next is regarding the using cross-border data flows. So in this, there is a relaxation in the data localization rules. You may be knowing that in the 2019 bill, there was a lot of restrictions on the cross-border data flows, and it was strictly said that in that 2019 bill, data localization is a rule, but which created a lot of problem for the companies, mainly small companies, as it will be difficult for them to store the data within India. It is very cost consuming process, and small companies will not be having enough fund for the data localization. So it was very difficult for the small companies, and now it will be a relaxation for them, as it is making a lot of relaxation for the cross-border data flows. But there is concerns also. Sometime if there is any kind of breaches happening on the data, we will have to approach the foreign companies for getting our data. So this is also a concern. But at present, considering the problems of the IT firms which are small, we have relaxed the data localization rules. Next is the right to correction or erasing rules. So if I am a user and my data is there in the online media and I want to get that data erased, I can directly go to the media who has that data with them, and I can say that I want that data to be erased. Then they will do that. Okay, so I have the right to get my data erased or corrected. That is also a provision under the new data bill. Next is the company duty. So in the company duty, it is said that if a company do not want a data for its business purpose, it should not keep that data for longer time. It should erase that data. Okay, so if a company do not want a data for any of its purpose, it should avoid that data, or it should delete that data from its data protection area. And in case of children also, companies should not take any steps to harm minors. Minors means less than 18 years of age. So in case of minors, and also the data which is no longer needed, there is a duty for the companies. Next is regarding the startup. There is some exceptions given for the startups, as in order to provide some growing up environment for the startups. So if it is a startups, there are some restrictions regarding the data handling based on the volume of the data. Okay, so for startups they are given some exceptions. There are other exemptions also which the central government can give, which is mainly regarding to the security of the state, the sovereignty and integrity of the India, then India's relation with other foreign nations, and also regarding the maintenance of public order, and also to prevent the incitement to any cognizable offense. So these are strictly regarding with the security of the nations, or can say that this is completely something related to the country. So in all these matters, the agencies can be exempted. Okay, so the central government has given the exemption for maintaining all these activities. So moving on to next point. Next is regarding the penalties. You may be knowing that in the early 2019 bill, the penalty was up to 15 crore for the breach of any data provisions. Okay, security. But now the penalties has been increased up to 50 to 500 crore for the data breaches and also for not obeying with the rules. This is mainly for the companies. So if a company is collecting the data of a person and he is unable to protect the data, or he is breaching the security of the person, then he will be fined for about 50 to 500 crore. Then there is also punishment or penalty for the users as well. If a user is submitting the false document to the media or any online service, then he or she will be also provided with a fine up to rupees 10,000. Okay, so fine is there for companies as well as for the user. So these are the main key provisions of this bill, and there are so many concerns also, like data localization is a main concern of the security, for the security reason. But anyway, this draft bill is out now and everybody can give their opinion regarding this draft bill till December 2022, and the date is 17th of December 2022 is the last date for giving the public opinion on this draft bill. So considering all those opinions, the bill will be released. Okay, so that's all regarding this topic. Thank you.